grasp the facts easily.
We believe in being precise and fair.
The NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
At the all-new Southview Chevrolet Jeep in Inver Grove Heights, we're having a giant Memorial Day sale. We're talking 4 big days, talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Monday. $4 million worth of inventory. It's got to be liquidated. We're talking out of here. $88 delivers any new or used car at Southview Chevrolet Jeep. Why don't you come on in, or better still, give us a call before you come on over at 451-2211. Go make you feel like you're in heaven. Southview Chevrolet and Jeep.
It's no joke. We at Ramsey County are cracking down on people who have been ignoring parking or traffic tickets. Or maybe you stuffed a ticket in the glove compartment and simply forgot to pay it. Well, we don't forget. To clear up a ticket and avoid arrest, phone or report now to the Violations Bureau in the Ramsey County Courthouse.
It's no joke. You have until May 27th to pay up with no questions asked. After that, we'll be looking for you.
Today comes to the Twin Cities, Wednesday.
Hello, my name's Eric, and this is Mrs. Vollmer's class and Mrs. Tigan's class from Catherine Curran School. Good morning,
Now, the Twin Cities' fastest growing television news, News 11 Sunrise, with John Bachman, Amy Powell, Steve Carroll on sports, and meteorologist Sally Patrick.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, May 20th. A special day for the Twin Cities.
It is indeed. The Today Show, broadcasting from downtown Minneapolis, showing off the Twin Cities to the entire nation. And what a morning we picked.
Rain, wouldn't you know it, all these sunny days.
After this spring, even the winter we've had. They could have been here almost any day in winter and still had a little bit better weather. 57 degrees, though, not all that bad. Sally Patrick with us this morning. Good morning, Sally.
Good morning. We do have showers around this morning. We were hoping this front would be a little more dry. That's not the case. In fact, the forecast will be wet for the next couple of days. We'll give it to you in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Sally. We'll have more details on the weather and, of course, on the Today Show as well in a moment. But first, topping sunrise, one man is dead this morning after a fatal shooting.
It happened shortly before 1:30 this morning in South Minneapolis. Police combed the yard and house for clues at 3821 Portland Avenue South. The suspects had already left the area, according to witnesses, before police arrived.
Call come out, shots fired, and we had a squad that was fairly close, and they actually heard the shots. And upon arriving, we did find a DOA.
Police found the body in the backyard. They say the victim was fatally wounded by a shotgun or rifle. Police have not yet identified the victim, and they are not sure if he was a resident of this home. Police have no suspects in custody this morning, but by witnesses' accounts, they are looking for several suspects in connection with the murder.
Lois Juergens, the woman accused of killing her adopted son 22 years ago, is expected to return to Ramsey County Court this morning. Juergens was absent from yesterday's hearings because she was ill. In written testimony, Juergens' sister, who died 3 years ago, said that Juergens hated her son. Lois Juergens has pleaded not guilty to second and third degree murder. 2 Duluth boys accused of smashing a $13,000 cello are facing charges this morning. Duluth Symphony's principal cellist Betsy Hyland, shown here with the broken cello in a box after the instrument had been taken from her car and then recovered. One boy has pleaded guilty in the case. The other will be tried as an adult.
Austin school board officials are looking for a way to finance a new school this morning. Ellis School burned to the ground last year, and last night residents defeated a $20 million school bond issue that would have financed a new 2-story building. The measure was defeated 5,500 to 4,100 votes. The road wars continue for motorists this morning. About 15 major construction projects are going on right now in the metro area. Here's where you can expect some slowdowns. Both directions on Highway 7 from Highway 100 to Division Street. Alternate lanes will be closed from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Also, both directions on I-694 at Lexington Avenue. Alternate lanes will be closed from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., so take some extra time if you're traveling in these areas.
The road wars can take on many different forms, such as bridges with weakening structures. In fact, safety inspections have begun all over Minnesota as crews check to make certain bridges haven't weakened over time. Christy Arndt of our Duluth Bureau was with one inspection crew and tells us what they found.
The Oliver Bridge spans the St. Louis River, connecting Minnesota and Wisconsin. Built in 1910, it's weathered the elements well, but time is taking its toll. This was its annual review to make sure the bridge can still pull its own weight. Crews from both states, plus the railroad company whose tracks run along the top, met to discuss the ailing bridge.
The railroad is responsible for the steel repairs below. Wisconsin is only responsible for, Wisconsin and Minnesota, for the timber decking, the timber curb, and the timber railing.
Inspectors checked every nook and cranny. New wooded planks repaired since the last inspection withstood their tests. The major concern this time was in corrosion of the steel supports.
We all agree that there is section loss, but it's the amount that is in question.
Crews feel the bridge can still hold its own, but they plan to further investigate the corrosion. That could mean more weight restrictions, but no danger to travelers who follow the rules. The Oliver does need some repairs, but than any bridge its age would. The basic concurrence from the review is that, despite some problems, it still has a few good years left. For Sunrise, Christy Arndt, News 11, the Duluth Bureau.
And crews plan to meet later this summer to make an in-depth study of the corrosion problems. Any changes in weight restrictions would follow their findings.
The Twin Cities have a special guest in town this morning. It's the crew from NBC's Today Show. The stage is set as this morning's show will be broadcast live from the Hennepin County Government Center in downtown Minneapolis. Willard Scott will be in Rice Park in St. Paul. The Twin Cities were recently selected as a couple of the most livable cities, and NBC wanted to find out firsthand.
And so we rain on their parade.
That's right.
They were going to be outside, too. The hope was, of course. To
after a drought, after a long drought, now we get the rain.
And we can't really complain, I guess.
We really can't, because we do need the rain so badly, and we are getting it this morning.
My yard is applauding right now.
The grass, the gardens, they're just loving it as the rain comes down. We do need it. Right now, we do have showers at the airport. They are occasionally heavy at times. As you're driving to work, be careful of that. 57 degrees, winds from the east at 12 miles an hour. The dew point is 56, and the pressure is now steady. We'll take a look at live Doppler radar and show you where the showers are. Spotty showers across the southwestern portion of the state, and showers right now going through the Twin Cities around White Bear Lake, also Roseville. These showers are moving northeast at around 25 miles an hour. We may get a slight break in the activity, but there will be more rain on the way. It could be heavy later on this afternoon. Here's our forecast for today. Cloudy skies, showers, thunderstorms, high around 75 degrees with a southeasterly breeze. For tonight, rain showers, 61 degrees. Thursday, more of the same, showers and thunderstorms, and they could be severe, especially Thursday afternoon. High around 80. We'll update you in just a few minutes.
Once that spigot is turned on, it's going to be hard to stop. Okay. Thanks. This morning on the radio, a different sound on a familiar station. Melissa Young tells us at KKCM, the music is there to sell the message.
We're glad you're here with us today on today's Christian music station for the Twin Cities. KKCM music continues.
You might know it better as KSMM, but these days 1530 AM has a new name and a new sound. Last March, KKCM switched to a new contemporary Christian music format, aiming at a younger crowd with a moral message.
By programming contemporary Christian music, we're providing a listening alternative to some of the questionable lyrics of rock and roll in the secular field.
For God sent the Son into the world not to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him. He's not out pointing fingers. He's out to save us.
Their Christian message is mixed in with news.
I mentioned earlier the school board election today in Shakopee. The polls open at 7 a.m.
Weather.
Kind of a gray and dismal day outside, Steve-O. That's
and music.
Actually, we have a lot of music, and that's what we're about. We're today's Christian music for the Twin Cities, KKCM.
The station's power will soon jump from 500 to 8,600 watts. That will mean a larger potential audience and a more metro-minded approach for this Shakopee mainstay. Melissa Young, News 11, on the radio at KKCM in Shakopee.
And tomorrow morning on Sunrise, Melissa will join us live from the studios of KDWB with Buck and O'Connor.
No telling what might happen with those two.
No, two friends of our station here.
That's right. They're a lot of fun. Next on Sunrise, the outlook for summer jobs.
Plus, a look at how one Twin Cities company is building its business and reputation. Stay with us.
Announcing 3 reasons to see your Ford dealer now. Reason 1, money. Now save up to $2,397 on full-sized Ford pickups. Reason 2, money. Now save over $1,800 on Rangers. Over $1,500 on Tempos with a special value option package. Reason 3, money. Now save up to $1,400 on Ford Crown Victoria wagons. So hurry to your Northland Ford dealer. The reasons are obvious. Money, money, money.
You know what I like about pumping up? You know what I like about maxing it out? You know what I like about the feel of weights in my hands? It's their effect on my body.
Join U.S. Swim and Fitness for only $29 down and $29 a month. That's right, $29 down and $29 a month.
Hi, my name is Jerry Burkhardt, and they own the Waterbed Warehouses. Remember, at Waterbed Warehouse, you pay less, a lot less. And here's 3 more good examples. Deluxe bookcase, just $179. Big selection of soft sides from $249. And a nice selection of canopy beds starting at just $799. Remember, if you don't buy your waterbed from us, you'll probably just get
57 degrees this morning, 10 minutes now past the hour. AT&T has reversed itself and now says it will keep its corporate headquarters in New York City. The company surprised city officials 2 months ago by announcing it would move most of its employees out of town. Mobil and JCPenney had announced similar moves. Now, AT&T officials say they'll transfer only a few employees.
A new study shows the outlook for summer jobs should be pretty good this year.
Kara King is here now to tell us all about that. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Amy. Well, if you plan to look for a job this summer, your chances should be about the same as they were last year. A report by the Conference Board predicts most of this summer's job openings will be in maintenance and community service. That includes such things as restoring parks or rebuilding highways. The Conference Board predicts only 6% of the summer openings will be in fast food outlets. In our business outlook this morning, Citicorp officials say the company will report a $2.5 billion loss in the second quarter. Citicorp has set aside $3 billion to cover losses on foreign loans. And Ford Motor will close its Canton, Ohio forging plant in July of next year. Company leaders say lower demand for rear-wheel drive car parts is the reason for the closing. A Golden Valley company is turning heads when it comes to quality workmanship. News 11's Susan Wiese tells a leading manufacturer in industrial floor maintenance equipment has a slick performance record.
The world's leading manufacturer of floor sweepers and scrubbers works hard at polishing its record for quality workmanship. In fact, the Tennant company puts so much stock in a job well done that workers like Henry Becker are recognized for producing machines that are defect-free.
Doing it right the first time is a good definition for that. It tends to cut down the hours on the machine, and the customer gets what he expects.
Turning out a quality product, though, doesn't mean turning out fewer machines. The record shows productivity here is up.
Before we made the changes in the area, we were at 3.7. Today, we're at 2.2 hours per machine.
And for a company where 1/4 of the machines are shipped overseas, quality workmanship improves business relations abroad.
They're in better condition, there's less problems, there's less hassle back and forth between our distributor in a foreign country and here.
When the customer is satisfied, the customer keeps coming back. And what executives here at the Tennant Company have learned is this: quality essentially is free. However, what costs nothing ultimately can increase profits 5 to 10%. Susan Wiese, News 11 Golden Valley.
And the Tennant Company has sales of $150 million a year. On Wall Street, the Dow fell more than 37 points during the last session. The 30 industrials closed at 2221.28, volume 175 million shares. And in London this morning, gold opened at $480.90 an ounce. That's up $11.40 from yesterday's close. And now we have an unusual twist in selling a product. If you've seen the Gallo wine commercials, it's a wedding. Okay, that commercial for this wine has made this record album go gold. It was a 3-year flop before this commercial.
You're kidding.
No, because of the song Hymn by Vangelis on here. Now, we have a sample of the song if you're not familiar with it. Okay. A pleasant song.
It makes you think of Gallo wine.
It does, but wine sales are up too, I should mention.
So people are buying the record.
The one with the TV commercial on it. It even has a sticker on the album cover that says that.
I guess this will be the new thing in record sales.
Some people will do anything.
They will.
Thanks, Kara. Still to come this morning on Sunrise, farm income may be on the way up.
The latest on the USS Stark.
A new way to fight drug abuse among kids.
And the struggles of the Twins and Brewers. Steve Carroll here with the latest when we return.
You're about to take a trip in a new Chrysler LeBaron, a true driver's car that gives you luxury and the luxury of saving. LeBaron prices start at just $11,295. And now get 3.7 financing or $500 cash back. Plus, save hundreds on our discount equipment packages and get the 770 protection plan. But to take this luxury saving trip, first, you have to take a trip to your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. See the all-new LeBaron Coupe starting at $11,295 at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
I guess you could say I had everything. I had a good job, beautiful house. I had a wonderful wife and 2 great kids. I also had a cocaine habit. First it cost me my job, then it cost me my house. And before I got help and stop, it cost me my family. I guess I'm lucky. I've still got my health.
Last year, Bill York began a new job and a new life because it's never too late for a new beginning.
Embers is cooking up something new and exciting. Let's take a peek. Hot and spicy Cajun dishes. Tender, flavorful grilled cod. 14 exciting new taste treats. The finest ingredients prepared to your complete satisfaction. If you haven't been to Embers recently, we've got a surprise for you. Come see what's cooking at Embers.
Sunrise time is 6:16. Twins tickets are still on sale for the big matchup between Milwaukee and Minnesota. The Twins and the Brewers will go head-to-head for a 3-day series beginning May 26th through the 28th. For more ticket information, you can call 375-7444. It would help to see them both play a little better.
First, the Twins have to get through the Indians.
That's right.
There could be a few tickets left for that series. Starts next Tuesday.
Is that right?
May have to,
There'll be as many Brewers fans as Twins fans, usually when they play, don't they?
Well, yeah, usually, but the Brewers aren't exactly tearing up the league right now. They're in slow motion right now. It was another rough night at the ballpark for both the Twins and the Milwaukee Brewers, the pair taking it on the chin in their respective games. We have a team report this morning on the two teams' Tuesday's tumble, starting with News 11's Jeff Passout, who's in Cleveland with the Twins.
This was the start of a brief road trip for the Twins, just 3 games. The Twins entered this game 3 games out of first place in the American League West, and while the September pennant race is still a few games down the road, it sure doesn't hurt if you're able to pick up a victory on the road in the middle of May. They wasted little time in trying to make that happen. 2 out in the first inning, Gary Gaetti hits a hot one down the left field line. 2 runs come around to score, and the Twins had a quick 2-0 lead. Tom Brunansky made it 3-0 in the 6th, doubling to score Kent Herbeck. But the long ball did the Twins in. Joe Carter leading off the bottom of the 6th with a solo shot off Les Straker. Eventually, the Twins' lead was cut to 3-2. And then in the 9th, another nightmare for the Twins. Mark Portugal in relief, giving up a 2-run homer to Corey Schneider. The Twins lose another heartbreaker, this time 4-3 to Cleveland. And now we go to Milwaukee, where the struggling Brewers were trying to get back on track. For more on their game, here's Wisconsin Bureau reporter Eric Olson.
There was a heavy fog hanging over County Stadium last night. A fog much like the Brewers' losing streak that continues to hang over the team. And the Chicago White Sox showed no mercy. Teddy Higuera shut the Sox down in the first, but in the second, with Greg Walker aboard, Carlton Fisk smashed a Higuera strike into the left field seats to give the White Sox a 2-0 lead. For the Brewers, it was a familiar story. Runners in scoring position several times, but no punch to put the players over the plate. So the Brewers streak, the losing streak, continues. The Brewers have now lost 12 straight, and they continue to ask themselves just what they need to do to get a win. For Sunrise, Eric Olson, News 11, Milwaukee.
We'll have more on both teams later tonight. Meantime, other scores in the American League. Kansas City topped Boston. Detroit make that Texas outslug Detroit 10-8. Baltimore bombed Seattle 15-4. California got by the Blue Jays, and the Oakland A's, they rallied to beat the Yankees 4-2. Over in the National League, the Chicago Cubs, sparked by Harry Carey's return, rolled by the Reds. The final from Wrigley Field, 9-2 in favor of the first-place Cubs. Other games, San Francisco beat Montreal 6-2. It was Atlanta over the St. Louis Cardinals 6-5. Elsewhere, it was the New York Mets beating San Diego 5-4. Pittsburgh down Houston 5-2, and the Dodgers and Philadelphia Phillies postponed because of rain. On to soccer now. The Striker lads are hanging up their boots for the season this morning after being eliminated from the playoffs by the Cleveland Force. The team from Ohio manhandled Minnesota, beating the Strikers 7-3 in the fifth and deciding game of their Eastern Division semifinal series. Let's pick up the action now in the fourth quarter. The Strikers were down by a goal when little Stan Cummins deflected in Gary Etherington's shot to tie the game at 3-all. But after that, it was all Cleveland. They scored 4 straight goals, this one by Ali Kajimani, with the Force up for good as Cleveland rolled on to knock the Strikers out of the playoffs. The final score again was 7-3. Well, finally this morning, it is Harry Carey's second day back on the job today. The colorful voice of the Chicago Cubs returned to the booth yesterday after recovering from a stroke, and the 70-year-old announcer was up to his old tricks during the 7th inning stretch.
Let me hear you good and loud. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
That was great.
He really gets them going.
Certainly does.
Yeah. America is okay if Harry's
That's
back in
right.
the stands. Thanks, Steve. Today is Wednesday. It's May 20th, and on this day, 60 years ago, a Minnesotan made aviation history.
Charles Lindbergh began his famous flight across the Atlantic. Lindbergh started that day at New York's Roosevelt Field. At 7:52 a.m., he took off for Paris in his famous Spirit of St. Louis. The next day, he arrived in Paris. He became the first person to fly solo across the Atlantic.
And on this day in history as well, in 1932, a woman made aviation history. Amelia Earhart took off from Newfoundland for Ireland to become the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. On the same day, in 1939, regular transatlantic air service began when Pan Am's Yankee Clipper took off from Port Washington, New York for Europe.
If today is your birthday, happy birthday. You share it with some famous and funny people.
Actor James Stewart, 79 today. Comedian George Gobel is 68. Ron Reagan, the son of President Ronald Reagan, is 29.
And coming up, how farm income is changing.
And how a new anti-drug campaign is working. Those stories and more when we return. Stay with us.
Hot news from the home of the super deal. Brookdale AMC Jeep Renault announces no payments until January 1988 on any new Jeep, like this 87 Jeep Cherokee with fuel injection, deluxe bucket seats, power steering, and more. Just $240 a month. And best of all, we make all of your payments until January of '88. Plus, buy this Jeep now and take this cute little bugger home to a good buddy, absolutely free. At Brookdale AMC Jeep Renault, call 566-7220.
Shop the value leader, Menards, during our Race to Savings sale. Save on Dutch Boy Confident Latex House Paint with a 6-year warranty. Choose from Dutch Boy's most popular pre-mixed colors, now just $8.49 a gallon. Indoor-outdoor carpeting by National Turf is on sale, too, in decorator colors. Save on the Candy Stripe, now just $1.86 a square yard. It's Menards' Race to Savings sale, and the big winner is you.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
For people on the go, it's the smart thing to do. Get your Q gasoline and grocery specials too.
Always wondered what the Q stood for, but since I began stopping here, I decided it's for quick.
It's quantity.
It's quality.
Quintessential.
What?
It's the quintessential superette. It's got everything. Gas, groceries, neat people, neat store, and super specials. Quintessential, see?
Smart kid.
For people on the go, oh, it's the smart thing to do.
IQ, do you?
April 1987, your better Buick dealers were the #1 Buick Group in America. May 1987, they're out to be #1 all over again, with the best selection ever, plus better prices, better trade-in allowances, and better service. Right now, they're dealing like never before on every new Buick in stock, with prices starting as low as $85.22. April was big, and May will be even bigger, because the deals will never be better. See your #1 better Buick dealers, and get on target today.
The time now, 6:23.
It was wet driving in this morning, wasn't it?
I know. You said your grass was applauding. Mine was singing.
Yours is singing.
Yes.
Dancing. And
That's right.
It has been dry for so long, and we're finally getting some real good soaking rains. We had one a couple days ago, and now again today will be wet. And I think for the next couple of days, up until the weekend, this looks pretty good. Up until the weekend, we should have some rain showers and then drying out for the weekend. It's not all bad, huh?
Right.
Showers right now at the airport, 57 degrees. An east wind at 12 miles an hour. The dew point this morning is 56, relative humidity 96%, and the pressure is steady at 29.92 inches. Live Doppler radar shows scattered showers and some thunder showers around mainly the southern 2/3 of our state. Northern sections of Ramsey County getting a heavy shower. There's more on the way. All of this activity is headed towards the northeast at around 25 miles an hour. So even if we get a little break in the rain, that won't be the end of it. We'll have more showers, I think, through the afternoon hours, and some of it could be heavy at times. On the satellite picture, brighter white clouds indicating heavier thunderstorms. Madison, Wisconsin getting plowed down right now with a very heavy thunderstorm. Earlier yesterday evening and last night, Iowa, severe weather. 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds producing damage there. Several funnel clouds sighted just to the south of Des Moines. And all of this is headed northward in a strong southerly flow. That's what's bringing all the moisture into our area. Strong southerly winds bringing the clouds, the moisture, and some very badly needed rains. National radar showing heavy thunderstorms southward through Kansas and Texas. The entire Central Plains, I think, today will be at risk for severe weather. Most of the risk should be just to our south, but I think tomorrow we have an even better chance of seeing some heavy and possibly severe weather during the afternoon hours. Here's the map for later on today. Rain showers for us, and it'll be a good soaker for the southern portion of the state. Heavier thunderstorms southward into eastern Texas and also Louisiana. Here's the forecast for today. Showers and thunderstorms, and they could be heavy today, high around 75 degrees. It will be breezy, winds from the southeast up to 20 miles an hour. Rain showers tonight, 61 the overnight low. We'll be lucky to see 61 degrees. I think it will be very, very warm tonight, so you might need the air conditioner. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. They may be heavy at times. High temperature up around 80 degrees. It looks like the showers will come to an end for the weekend. Just a few on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday looks dry right now. High temperatures in the low to mid 70s. That's not all bad for this time of year. Amy?
Not bad at all. Thank you, Sally. In case you're just joining us, here are our headline stories. One person is dead this morning after a shooting in South Minneapolis. Police found the body shortly after 1:30 this morning in the backyard of 3821 Portland Avenue South. Police say the victim was fatally wounded by a shotgun or rifle. Investigators talked to neighbors overnight who say they witnessed part of the crime. Witnesses say they heard shots and then saw several suspects leaving the scene in a car. No suspects are in custody this morning. Austin school board officials who lost a building to fire last year are looking for a way to finance a new building this morning. Residents in Austin defeated a $20 million bond issue late last night. Money from the bond issue would have provided funds to build a new two-story school. And right now, the last-minute scramble is going on at the Hennepin County Government Center, where the Today Show will broadcast this morning's show. Technicians, along with other members of the NBC crew, are making sure that the stage is set so that it'll be smooth sailing for Bryant and Jane. The Today Show can be seen on TV 11 right after this newscast. Farm income may be improving this year. John is with farm editor Les Heen, who'll tell us about it. John?
Boy, we certainly hope it's improving, and well, prices are coming back a bit, huh?
Prices are coming back. They were very low and bouncing back a little. It's still not where farmers would like it, but at least it's coming back a little. A new USDA study predicts that net farm income could increase $1 billion to $50 billion this year. The prediction lists lower interest rates and some higher crop prices as a reason for the comeback. Land prices are also stabilizing, and that is helping the average farmer. But the USDA still lists long-term debt payments as a big problem. Futures prices bounced back during the last session of the Chicago Board of Trade. May soybeans gained 7 cents to reach $5.49.5 per bushel. Traders said a late report about more beans hitting the market could drive soybeans down today. May corn gained a cent to finish at $1.81.5. May wheat dropped almost 3 cents to close at $2.95.5. And subsidies that affect those crop prices will face some challenges next month at a trade conference. White House aide Frank Carlucci says a seven-nation meeting in Venice will focus on opening markets and stopping protectionism. Carlucci says farm subsidies cost the world economy as much as $140 billion a year. And the farm trade picture has improved lately with the sale of more wheat to the Soviet Union. The Soviets have bought more than 1 million tons of U.S. wheat this month, their first U.S. wheat purchase in almost 2 years. To tell us more about export sales, Tom Slate is on the line now. Tom is the Eastern European representative for the U.S. Feed Grains Council. And Tom, I know you just returned from a trade mission to Moscow. What did you hear about the prospects for more U.S. sales?
Well, right now, the Soviets have told me last Friday that in terms of feed grain anyway, they have purchased 4 million metric tons, and that will be it until the fall.
One thing that people have talked about a lot around here along those lines is that they've had a late spring, they have not been in the fields as much as they'd like. What do you think that might have for an impact?
Well, I think it's a little too early to say right now on that because, I don't know if you remember last year, there were some similar weather concerns about the Soviet crop about this time of the year, and they ended up with 20 million metric more tons of grain than they thought they were going to have. So there is concern. They have had a lot of cold weather there lately, snow as late as May 8th, and there has been considerable frost damage, but in terms of how they're going along and replanting and so forth, it's really too early to tell on that.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly watch and wait for more results. Thank you, Tom. So, have to watch and see what happens with the Soviet crop.
Alrighty. Thanks, Les. Coming up next on Sunrise, how kids are learning to say no to drugs. Stay with us.
It's incredible. Saxon Ford is discounting 30 new Taurus GLs to one low price. That's right, one low price on 30 loaded Taurus GLs with V6s, not the strip 4-cylinders you've seen elsewhere. These Taurus GLs are Saxon packed with automatics, air conditioning, power steering and brakes, tinted glass, and more. Now all 30 are discounted by $2,415 to just $11,988. Almost 100 Tauruses in stock, 4 doors and wagons. Now Taurus GLs for just $11,988 only at Saxon Ford. Member Ford authorized leasing system, now 30 years strong, St. Paul.
Budget Power, the home improvement expert, has the greatest savings of the season during the Build-A-Rama sale. Save on all Moen lab faucets, from European styles to contemporary lab faucets to elegant wing handles that change as easy as your mood. Relax in the soothing luxury of a portable hot spring spa. Feel tension melt away with warm surging water of the unique Moto massage jets. Solid oak vanities from Omega feature everything from traditional oak and brass to the new VIP cabinets. Save on custom quality now during the Build-A-Rama sale at Budget Power.
Budget Power.
At Jennings Red Coach Inn, we've earned a reputation for distinction. You'll enjoy a variety of unique menu choices at reasonable prices, from traditional favorites like steaks, seafoods, poultry, chops, to specialties. If you're planning a party, Jennings has 3 private rooms available for gatherings from 10 to 125. Jennings Red Coach Inn, 1 mile east of Highway 100 on Excelsior Boulevard in St. Louis Park. For lunch, dinner, and private parties, 927-5401.
The sensible choice of Minneapolis is Cadillac.
I really love the Cadillac DeVille.
Today's DeVille has new contemporary styling, combining luxury and roominess with modern-day technology.
I enjoy the new Cadillac. I like the front wheel drive, and I enjoy the comfort of the seats.
After one drive, you'll see why it's the #1 selling luxury car in America. Discover the sensible side. See your Twin Cities Cadillac dealer today.
The time now 6:32. There are a growing number of Americans who have skin cancer, and that has doctors concerned. Dermatologists say skin cancer rates are increasing because more younger Americans are spending time in the sun. Doctors recommend if you're going out in the sun, wear a sunscreen to protect yourself from the harmful rays. Health officials continue to voice concerns over the growing popularity of tanning booths. Medical reporter Dr. Dean Adele tells us of the health risks involved with using the beds. And I guess we won't have Dr. Dean Adele right now, but we'll try to get back to that story a bit later. In for Kids' Sake this morning, a high school student takes her fight to change a class requirement to the state legislature. John is with Jerry Hall and April Yeager with that story and more. John?
Thank you, Amy. Sometimes you believe in something, you take it as far as you can, and this is a case like that. Good morning to both of you.
Morning, John. All right.
A Victorville high school student is back in the news this morning. Jennifer Graham attracted lots of attention when she refused to cut up a frog in her biology class. Now she's asking the legislature to give students an alternative to dissecting animals. The proposed bill would allow students in public and parochial schools from kindergarten to 12th grade to refuse to dissect animals. The legislature has not taken up the bill.
And in St. Louis Park, Methodist Hospital will play host to nearly 200 daycare children to show off their newly remodeled children and young adults unit. The fun gets underway tonight at 5 p.m. Some of the events include a visit with paramedics, nutrition and snacking tips, and a tour of the remodeled hospital rooms. If you'd like to participate, call Methodist Hospital at 932-5064.
Kids, and even some parents, are pledging to say no to drugs. One place the pledges are being taken is at the Southdale Shopping Center. News 11's Bernie Grace reports.
Hundreds of students have signed pledge cards vowing to live a drug-free life. The volunteers staffing the Southdale booth are youngsters from Edina. They can't say enough about why people should give up drugs.
We just want people to know that drugs are something that they shouldn't be getting involved in.
I've seen a lot of my friends get involved with drugs, and I've seen what it, how it can harm people, and I just feel that it'd be better if we didn't have a lot of kids using drugs.
This may look like just any old wall of graffiti, but it's a specially erected board at Southdale for people to sign, pledging they won't use drugs. And some of those who have signed speak from experience. They've used a lot of drugs.
It's just not worth it to even mess with drugs. I'm a lot happier now. I was flunking out of school, so hopefully I'll change that and do a lot better. My grades went down. I messed up with my friends. I lost a lot of my old friends. My family relations were no good anymore. I couldn't relate to people anymore. I just really was very apathetic, very unhappy with myself.
Some only need to listen to those who have been down the drug road to know no is the only answer to drugs. For News 11 Sunrise, I'm Bernie Grace in Edina.
The pledge booth will be open for the remainder of the week.
Some mathematical whizzes are rewarded for their clever work with numbers. In front of an all-school assembly, 4 high school students from Benilde St. Margaret's received a handshake and award from Domino's Pizza. The company sponsored a math program called Count on Dominoes. The students won the award for using dominoes to learn about trigonometry.
Yes, I remember trigonometry. I remember how to spell it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too, John.
Still to come, a bear mauling at a New York zoo and a look back at the roots of American slavery. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Jerry Burkhardt and I own the Waterbed Warehouses. Remember, at Waterbed Warehouse, you pay less, a lot less. Here's another good example. Complete waterbeds from $99. Bookcases starting at $149. And our deluxe bookcase is just $179. Remember, Waterbed Warehouses. We've been here and we're going to be here. Remember, if you don't buy your waterbed from us, you'll probably just get...
As you can plainly see, we are totally overstocked. 600 new and used cars, trucks, and vans have been marked down at Minnesota's #1 retail Dodge dealer, Town & Country Dodge in Hopkins. Choose from our best ever selection of clean new car trades, like this '83 Cadillac Fleetwood. It's just $89.90. Or this '84 Cutlass with $56 down, it's only $130 a month. Pick a car, pick a price, pick a payment. At Town & Country Dodge in Hopkins, call 935-3371.
Will the owner of a red, sun-faded, corroded convertible please move your car to another state?
On the next, Magnum, after a daring rescue.
Robin Masters.
Magnum becomes the hero in a psychotic woman's fantasy.
I love you.
Magnum, Wednesday at 3 on TV 11.
I'd like to show you one of my favorite restaurants in all America. It's Kozlak's Royal Oak in suburban Shoreview. Now, whether it's the subtle combination of the beauty and grandeur of the dining room or the friendly, comfortable feeling of the Royal Oak patio garden, throughout Kozlak's Royal Oak restaurant, there's just one kind of food and one kind of service and it's the very, very best. See for yourself over lunch, dinner, or the outstanding New Orleans Sunday brunch at Kozlak's Royal Oak Restaurant.
The time now 6:38. Christopher Ryden's family is still waiting to hear from him this morning. The 20-year-old from Minneapolis was aboard the USS Stark when it was attacked by Iraqi missiles over the weekend. And his family's been told Chris is okay, but they're still waiting by the phone for a call from Chris himself. In fact, his father has been keeping a vigil.
Chris is all right. He's in port now, so we're expecting a phone call from him anytime now. So.
Two other Minnesotans on board are also reported safe this morning. The families of Gerald Benson of Detroit Lakes and Wayne Doman of East Grand Forks both have received the welcome news.
And word this morning that the fighter pilot who attacked the USS Stark thought that he was firing on an Iranian ship. The pilot is claiming that he got no word from the Americans to stop the attack. The crippled frigate is docked in Bahrain this morning, and Navy investigators will be on the scene trying to determine how the deadly attack took place. All this as a memorial service was held in Bahrain this morning for the 37 Americans killed in the attack. The bodies are being flown on a transport jet back to the United States.
In Brooklyn, New York this morning, an investigation will be taking place into a horrifying incident at the Prospect Park Zoo. NBC's Norma Quarles reports 2 polar bears at the zoo killed a child visiting the park after hours.
The zoo in Brooklyn had been closed for about 2 hours when police got a call from a woman who said 3 children had gone into the zoo and were screaming for help. Police armed with rifles rushed to the scene.
When they got down to the cage where the 2 bears are, they saw the 2 bears fighting over a child who was dead at the time.
The 2 bears, a 1,400-pound male and a 900-pound female, were shot to death. Autopsies were performed, and it was determined that there had been 1 victim, not 3, as originally feared. The compound has 2 8-foot-high iron fences and is surrounded by a deep moat. The 2 polar bears had lived in the zoo for 30 years without any previous incident or trouble. Norma Quarles, NBC News, New York.
Investigators will be trying to determine how the children entered the polar bear's compound.
And elsewhere in our World Wrap this morning, a prisoner on Mississippi's death row was executed overnight. Edward Earl Johnson had been convicted of killing a marshal back in 1979. He died in Mississippi's gas chamber. Federal officials are warning health professionals working with AIDS patients to protect themselves from exposure. This after 3 workers contracted the AIDS virus after their skin was exposed to the blood of infected patients. And it will be a replay of the 1983 mayoral race in Philadelphia. Democratic incumbent Wilson Goode will square off against former Mayor Frank Rizzo in November.
In our We the People series this morning, we examine a topic that divided North from South and pitted man against man. News 11's Joan Steffen tells us of a place where slaves were bought and sold.
The old Slave Mart Museum in Charleston, South Carolina brings to life the time in the South when the buying and selling of human beings was a regular occurrence.
That second-story balcony was the auctioneer's podium, where people's futures were decided with a bid and a point of the finger from an auctioneer.
The ledgers tell the story of one man's cash value to another man. The museum, built in 1852, houses history some people would like to forget, but history important in the shaping of our nation. At the time of the drafting of the Constitution, the slave state stood against the northern states, arguing that representation should be decided by population and that blacks should be included in that population count. Well, northern states could feel their power shifting to the South and so eventually agreed to a compromise stating black people would be counted as 3/5 of a person. But in this museum, the slaves' value is also seen in human terms, in the beautiful crafts and artwork they contributed, and in the tools they used to literally support the economy of the South. A museum where we the people can get a taste of what life was like for the people who didn't taste the Constitution's freedom 200 years ago. Joan Steffen, Charleston, South Carolina.
And tomorrow, a look at a colonel from New Jersey. Next on Sunrise, we'll recap our top stories for you.
And we'll show you how to have more successful fishing trips this summer. We will. We'll be right back.
USA Today presents Major League Baseball's 1987 All-Star Balloting. To vote for your favorite players, get your ballot at the ballpark or in USA Today. Look for this ad Tuesday and Thursday. And enter the All-Star Sweepstakes to win new cars from the Chevrolet All-Star lineup. Plus, you'll find Johnny Bench and Billy Williams with a great subscription offer of free All-Star gear from Rawlings.
Get this All-Star cap free with a 13-week paid subscription to USA Today.
Pay only $29.25. That's 10% off the newsstand price.
With a 6-month subscription, you'll get this Rawlings All-Star jersey.
And you'll save 15%.
Right, and if you go for a 1-year subscription, you'll get the jersey and this All-Star sports bag.
And save 25%.
So pick up USA Today, the nation's #1 newspaper, to vote for your favorite players and enter the USA Today All-Star Sweepstakes. Call this number to get free All-Star gear with delivery of USA Today.
Are you looking for tomorrow's car or truck at today's prices? I'm Joe Senser for Todd Chevrolet in Lakeville, where you can save thousands from a choice of hundreds. You can purchase 1988 models Beretta, Corsica, or full-size pickups. Tomorrow's Chevrolet at 1987 prices. Jeff Belzer's Todd Chevrolet in Lakeville's 15 minutes south of 494 in Cedar, or 5.5 minutes east of 35W and Highway 50. Todd Chevrolet. Call 469-4444.
Recapping our top stories. One man is dead this morning following a shooting in South Minneapolis.
The fatal shooting happened early this morning. The body was found in the backyard of 3821 Portland Avenue South by police. News 11's Carolyn Merrinan tells us police are not sure what the shooting stemmed from, but neighbors who may have witnessed part of the crime gave police information overnight that may help in their investigation.
Minneapolis police searched the yard and house at 3821 Portland Avenue South. They were looking for clues following a fatal shooting. The murder happened shortly before 1:30 this morning.
Well, there was a call come out, shots fired, and we had a squad that was fairly close, and they actually heard the shots. And upon arriving, we did find a DOA.
Police found the body in the backyard. Investigators say the victim was fatally wounded with a shotgun or rifle, and police say he was shot at least once at close range. Witnesses say they heard about 5 shots being fired and then another series of shots fired before they saw several suspects getting into a car and leaving the scene. Police have not yet identified the victim, and they are not sure at this time if he is a resident of the address. For Sunrise, Carolyn Merrinan, News 11, South Minneapolis.
This morning, police are still looking for several suspects in connection with the shooting.
Voters in Austin have turned down a $20 million school bond issue. Ellis School burned to the ground last year. The bond issue would have financed a 2-story school to replace the burned down building. Last night, voters defeated the issue by nearly 5,500 votes to 4,100. The NBC Today Show crew is in the Twin Cities this morning and will be going on the air in just a few minutes. Final preparations are being made to make certain that Bryant Gumbel and Jane Pauley can sail through the show without a hitch. The crew is in the area because the Twin Cities were recently selected as 2 of the most livable cities in the country.
Triple Crown favorite Ali Sheba is gearing up this morning for the Belmont. The 3-year-old colt has already cinched the Kentucky Derby and last weekend's Preakness. If Ali Sheba wins the Belmont, it would mean the Triple Crown and the first crown winner since affirmed in 1978.
I like that horse.
Oh, it's a good-looking horse.
Character.
Should be exciting to have another Triple Crown winner.
Yes, and there is speculation, just speculation, that horse could come to Canterbury Downs.
Is that right?
Later this
I
year.
hadn't heard that
A little
speculation,
speculation.
but I heard it now.
Well, I didn't speculate. Someone
Heard it here
speculated.
first.
Yes. In the meantime, we'll talk about some baseball. The Twins return to the Ball Diamond tonight as they continue their 3-game series at Cleveland. Right-hander Juan Berenguer makes his 2nd straight start on the mound for the Twins against knuckleballer Tom Candiotti. Game time is 6:30. Last night, the Twins blew a 3-0 lead and went on to lose to the Indians in the bottom of the 9th. Corey Snyder smacked a Mark Portugal meatball over the left field fence to give the Indians a 4-3 come-from-behind win over the Twins. The Milwaukee Brewers try and snap their 12-game losing streak this afternoon at County Stadium when they host the Chicago White Sox in the finale of their short 2-game series. Chicago beat Milwaukee last night 5-1. We'll have full coverage of the Brewers and Twins tonight on News 11. Well, if you're planning on doing some fishing today, listen up. We have another timely tip from News 11 fishing pro Tom Zanenko. This morning, Tom tells us about the importance of boat control when fishing for walleyes.
Boat
control, a very important part of your walleye fishing. You see, if you can keep your boat where the walleyes are, you're going to be catching more fish. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can control your boat. One of the more traditional ways of controlling your boat is to back troll into the wind. And by putting your motor into reverse, you can slowly back yourself into the wind, giving you very good boat control. And with the use of an electric trolling motor, you'll be able to maneuver your boat very nicely in low wind conditions. So by mastering the different ways you can control your boat, you'll be staying on more walleyes this season.
And if you'll be out on the lakes today looking for a walleye or two, here's the best time to try your luck. According to our graph, a new morning peak is underway as we speak. But the best time will be about 8:45 tonight when the graph slips into the super range later tonight. Well, finally this morning, it's a heart-stopping story about another creature who calls home, who makes his home in the water, Mr. Al E. Gator. Well, you can see this one coming from a mile away, but an innocent sports reporter is getting ready to do an interview with a zookeeper when all of a sudden, whammo!
Oh, God! Oh, man!
Now look how close the gator comes to nipping the reporter's leg. And no word if they ever continued that interview.
He's just trying to say hi, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I like his reflexes.
Yeah, great. Probably a goalie from way back.
I must have been. See, reporting is dangerous, folks.
That's right.
Thanks, Steve. Well, in Hopkins, Lions Club Governor Dick Risley stepped into the hot seat for a shave and a haircut. Chubby and bushy have been some of the names that he's heard recently, but not anymore. Risley bet that he could lose 50 pounds and said that he would shave his beard. The money raised will now go to diabetes research.
Good for him.
What are you going to do for research?
Well,
You're going to
this
give
is all
us.
I've got. I don't think I want to do that. That wouldn't be pretty.
You're going to give us a good forecast, I bet. Lots of rain for
Lots
our
of
yard.
rain, which is a good forecast. We badly need that rain, and it's coming down in buckets in some places this morning with showers and thunder showers. And I think this will be the case through the next couple of days. Let's take a look and see what's going on right now. Cloudy skies, 58 degrees, winds out of the east at 12 miles an hour. The dew point is 56, relative humidity 93%, and the pressure is falling. Live Doppler radar showing you thunderstorms off to our northwest around Swift County, right around the city of Benson there. Also some lighter showers in Dakota County around Farmington. All of this activity is headed towards the northeast at around 25 miles an hour, and so we will have showers and thunderstorms, I think, throughout the day. The best bet for severe weather today will be just to our south across southern Minnesota and all the way southward into Texas. There will be a threat of severe weather. There was some yesterday. In fact, tornadoes touching down in Texas, about 5 tornadoes, and many funnel clouds sighted yesterday in Iowa. It'll be another day of that, and I think tomorrow, even worse for the Twin Cities. There will be quite a threat of severe weather here. Let's take a look at the forecast for today. Showers and thunderstorms, high up around 75 degrees, and some of that rain may be heavy at times. So take a little extra time, especially this morning as you're going off to work. Rain showers tonight and very warm, 61 the overnight low. Tomorrow, showers, more thunderstorms, high temperature up around 80 degrees, and I think the showers will continue through Friday with a high around 70, but it should come to an end for the weekend. Mostly cloudy Saturday, 70, and 75 on Sunday under partly cloudy skies. Over the next couple of days, if you do see the sun peek out, oddly enough, that'll be the time to really look out because the sun will boil the atmosphere. So we don't really want to see the sun. That will just cook some severe weather.
Okay.
Huh, that's interesting. But
Now you know.
Now
We
we
learned
know.
so much
it's,
here,
It's
don't we?
amazing. But by Friday, I think we will have had enough rain. So will
Hopefully,
you let
yes.
the sun come out for real on Saturday?
We'll try.
Will you? Okay. Coming up next on Sunrise, a day for sports enthusiasts who like a good show.
And a free painting program. We'll have more information next in the Daybook.
At the
the all-new Southview Chevrolet Jeep in Inver Grove Heights, we're having a giant Memorial Day sale. We're talking 4 big days, talking about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all day Monday. $4 million worth of inventory. It's got to be liquidated. We're talking out of here. $88 delivers any new or used car at Southview Chevrolet Jeep. Why don't you come on in, or better still, give us a call before you come on over at 451-2211. Go make you feel like you're in heaven. Southview Chevrolet and Jeep.
In today's market, having Gardner Brothers build you a new home may be as affordable as buying a used home. And here are some facts you may not be aware of. The greatest equity gain in a home is in its first 5 years. So when you buy a used home, you're buying somebody else's equity. And besides that, with a new home, you get special energy features and a 10-year home warranty program. So why buy a used home when you can have Gardner Brothers build your new home today?
Gardner Brothers Homes, building your future today.
Arco Air, air conditioning engineered with precision, making tomorrow's technology available today. Arco Air, backed by a nationwide network of dealers, professionals dedicated to total customer satisfaction. High-efficiency air conditioners and heat pumps, dependable service. That's the Arco Air difference.
For more information, call Southside Heating and Rogers Heating.
This is your lucky morning in Daybooks. You're going to find out how to get your house painted for free.
And where to go for a sporting goods show. Joan Anderson is in the newsroom with all the details.
Morning, Johnny.
Good morning, John and Amy. Get captivated by jugglers and enjoy demonstrations of soccer, gymnastics, folk dance, and more at Sports Club Day. This free event is open to the public today from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Northrop Mall and in front of Kaufman Memorial Union. Call 625-6178 for more information. Or visit Sibley Recreation Center today for their annual Spring Sampler Art Fair. Local artists will be displaying and selling pottery, paintings, and jewelry from 4 to 8 p.m. The fair will be held at Sibley Park on 40th Street and 19th Avenue South. This old paintbrush is looking for a home in need of a paint job. Again this year, religious and volunteer organizations are holding a paint-a-thon for low-income, disabled, or seniors who can't do the job themselves. The paint-a-thon is being held later this summer. Contact Jody Young at 870-3660 between the hours of 8:30 and 4:30 p.m. Now let's go back to the studio and look at sports. Steve?
All right, Joan, surprise, surprise. LA and Boston posted wins in the NBA playoffs, and the Twins and Brewers are both back in action tonight. We'll have full coverage of both teams tonight on News 11. Sally?
Steve, showers and thunderstorms today will have a high up around 75 degrees. Some of those storms could be heavy at times. Be careful of that. Winds from the southeast up to 20 miles an hour. We have a current temperature of 58 degrees as you head outside. Rain tonight and 61. It will be mild. And for tomorrow, more showers, more thunderstorms, and I think tomorrow a better bet of heavy weather. High temperature up around 80.
Yeah, we haven't been very hospitable to the Today Show crew, as we've mentioned throughout. The Today Show is broadcasting from the Twin Cities this morning, following this newscast.
That's right. And as we close, Andrea Shane is going to show us it was no fluke that Minneapolis and St. Paul were selected for this honor.
But of course, we knew.
Oh, we all knew that.
We'll see you again bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
The Rand McNally Almanac ranks Minneapolis and St. Paul as two of the more livable cities in the U.S. We have, as it says, much to be proud of.
It's terrific. It's clean. It's a great place. I raised 4 children here. It's terrific.
That sparkling water is one reason why we rank so high. The Twin Cities have strict standards that keep our air and water clean. And we do that, the book says, without alienating industry. We also do a great job with the arts, having fun as we work to maintain our ranking of 10th in the country, while balancing it out with well-known art centers like the Walker. We are also ranked very high on that list when it comes to education.
Attention, please.
We have one of the highest teacher-to-student ratios in the country. And what a great place the cities are for recreating. We have 240 square miles of water in the Twin Cities alone. But on many occasions, we have this problem.
I don't think it's going to turn over.
That's right. Our severe winters are not everyone's enemy. They make us appreciate the 3 other seasons we have each year. Who can forget a beautiful autumn? So thank you, Rand McNally. We agree. For Sunrise, Andrea Shane, News 11.
It's the Electric Fetus 19th anniversary, and we are celebrating with these great new releases. The replacements, Pleased to Meet Me on Sire Records, LP and cassette $6.99, compact disc $12.99. Hooskadoo, Warehouse Songs and Stories on Warner Brothers, LP and cassette $8.99, compact disc $15.99. The Wallets, Take It on Twin Tone Records, LP and cassette $6.99. And Soul Asylum, While You Were Out on Twin Tone Records, LP $6.99. Come in now and save the Electric Fetus, 2010 4th Avenue South, Minneapolis.
I know what you're thinking. Is there a deal for you with the all-new Southdale Ford? Well, you'll find out when you come on down and take a look at the great deals like this 80 Ford Club Wagon. Only $139 a month, no payments till October. Or this 81 Citation, just $79 a month and no payments till October. Come on, Twin Cities. Call 835-5555 and make my day.
Southdale Ford Yugo, 835-5555. Call now.
That's power, and it's power, God's power, that you need. So don't miss R.W. Shambach in a special miracle revival here in Minneapolis at Orpheum Theater, 910 Hennepin Avenue. Services will be held Friday and Saturday, May 22nd and 23rd at Orpheum Theater. That's R.W. Shambach in Crusade, May 22nd and 23rd at 7:30 p.m. nightly. Come expecting God's power to perform a miracle for you.
1 in 4 Americans suffer some form of heart and blood vessel disease, more than 30 million. February is Heart Month. Learn about heart disease and how we can prevent it. Call 690-5216 for information about how you can keep a happy and healthy heart. I'm Amy Powell, News 11, and we know what matters.